In the wake of recent geopolitical developments, the conflict in Gaza has become a focal point of international attention. Saudi Arabia and Russia, despite their distinct backgrounds, have issued stern warnings to the United States concerning its support for Israel in the region. This diplomatic clash not only underscores the complex dynamics of the Middle East, but also raises critical questions about the role of major players and the potential repercussions for the people of Gaza. In this essay, we will delve into the complexities of this caution, examining the historical context, geopolitical dynamics, and the repercussions of Saudi Arabia and Russia's appeals for the U.S. to intervene and halt Israel's actions in Gaza. To address this pivotal warnings, it is essential to delve into key historical background preceding the conflict. The roots of the Gaza conflict stretch back to the late 1940s, a pivotal period marked by the establishment of the State of Israel. This transformative event triggered a cascade of consequences, most notably the displacement of Palestinian Arabs from their ancestral lands. As the boundaries of the newly formed state took shape, a profound sense of resentment and territorial disputes took root, setting the stage for decades of conflict. Think of the year 1967, the aftermath of the Six-Day War, as a critical juncture that heightened tensions in the region. The small but strategically significant strip of land along the Mediterranean coast, known as Gaza, emerged as a focal point of contention. With Israel gaining control, clashes became a recurring reality, casting a shadow over the lives of the inhabitants. Notably, the militant group Hamas entered the scene, further intensifying the conflicts and adding a layer of complexity to the already volatile situation. You probably heard of the toll exacted on civilians in Gaza, who, tragically, find themselves caught in the crossfire of these clashes. The violence has resulted in significant loss of life and property, with the civilian population bearing the brunt of the turmoil. The very land that witnessed so many historical events has become a battleground, and the stories of its people are etched with the scars of conflict. In the conflict of today, we see that several world powers show interests in the conflict between Israel and Palestine. Despite the divergence in their backgrounds, Saudi Arabia and Russia find common ground in their interest in the Gaza conflict, prompting them to issue stern warnings to the United States. For Saudi Arabia, the Palestinian cause transcends national borders. It embodies the essence of Arab unity and solidarity. As a guardian of Muslim holy sites, the kingdom perceives the Israeli occupation as more than a territorial dispute. It views it as a profound injustice and a direct threat to regional stability. The narrative Saudi Arabia weaves underscores a commitment to advocating for a peaceful resolution that recognizes and restores the rights of the Palestinian people. Think of Russia's historical ties, intricately woven with both Israel and Palestinian factions. Unlike Saudi Arabia, Russia's interests are multifaceted. By issuing warnings to the United States regarding Israel's actions in Gaza, Russia strategically aims to bolster its role as a mediator in the region. This move serves a dual purpose. Not only does it position Russia as a key player in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but it also seeks to counterbalance American influence in the Middle East. The complexities of Russia's diplomatic maneuvering reveal a calculated effort to navigate the delicate geopolitical landscape. Picture this: the United States, unwavering in its alliance with Israel, has historically been a steadfast supporter, providing substantial aid and diplomatic backing. This enduring partnership, however, has not been without consequences. The generous support extended by the U.S. to Israel has become a source of regional contention, sparking debates and fueling tensions across the Middle East. Recent actions by the United States, aligning closely with Israeli interests, have intensified the geopolitical landscape. These alignments, while reinforcing the bond between the two allies, have become a flashpoint, drawing the ire of nations invested in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Saudi Arabia and Russia, in response to these actions, have issued stern warnings, challenging the United States' role as the primary mediator in the region. Think of the warnings from Saudi Arabia and Russia as indicators of a broader sentiment. These diplomatic cautions not only express dissatisfaction with recent U.S. actions, but also reflect growing frustration and concern about the escalating violence and instability in the region. The once unquestionable role of the United States as the primary mediator now faces scrutiny, as regional actors voice their discontent and seek alternative paths to address the complex dynamics of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Picture this. Saudi Arabia's warning to the United States is not just a diplomatic gesture, it is deeply rooted in the kingdom's strategic objectives. The underlying motivation is a multifaceted desire to assert influence, protect Palestinian rights, and maintain a leadership role in the Arab world. Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the driving force behind Saudi Arabia's stance, has explicitly urged the U.S. to take action by pressuring Israel to halt military operations in Gaza. This call is not merely a political maneuver. It reflects the Saudi leadership's genuine concern for the humanitarian crises and civilian casualties unfolding in the conflict. Think of Russia's warning as a chess move in its broader strategy to expand influence in the Middle East. The alignment of Russia's interests with the Israeli-Palestinian conflict serves as a means to establish itself as a key player in the region. By cautioning the U.S. about Israel's actions in Gaza, Russia positions itself as a diplomatic force seeking to mediate and contribute to the resolution of the long-standing conflict. The warning is a calculated step in Russia's ongoing efforts to solidify its presence and relevance in the complex landscape of Middle Eastern geopolitics. Amidst the intricate web of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, addressing grievances, historical narratives, and security concerns on both sides is not just a necessity, but the cornerstone for any meaningful negotiation. The humanitarian crisis unfolding in Gaza adds an urgent dimension, demanding immediate attention from the international community. However, the path to peace is fraught with challenges, and building trust between parties emerges as a paramount hurdle. Think of confidence-building measures as essential components to pave the way for negotiation. Halt settlement, construction, and reduce violence. These actions can foster an atmosphere conducive to diplomatic dialogue. The role of the Palestinian leadership becomes pivotal in achieving unity, providing a unified voice in negotiations. Simultaneously, international diplomatic efforts, underlining the importance of adhering to principles of justice and international law, play a critical role in navigating the complexities of the conflict. Addressing core issues like borders, refugees, the status of Jerusalem, and security is imperative for a sustainable peace agreement. Each of these elements represents a crucial aspect that, when carefully considered, contributes to a comprehensive resolution. Upholding the principles of international law becomes not just a diplomatic necessity, but a moral imperative in ensuring a just and lasting solution. The sensitive issue of refugees, woven into the fabric of the conflict, requires a comprehensive and compassionate solution. Acknowledging their rights and needs while respecting the intricacies of the region is a delicate task. By approaching this issue with nuance and empathy, negotiators can lay the groundwork for a resolution that recognizes the humanity and dignity of all involved.